even so, when you look here, um, when you look at the way that he set up in the first leg away from home, yeah, with the injuries they had, and that's what you gotta love about Carlo, bro. No excuses. Man just
Yeah.
turned up to the 80 had, yeah, all them injuries, and just put out a team there to win the game of football, bro. And this is why when I hear this talk of Amrim, he doesn't have his players, bro. Even if he doesn't have his players, he's supposed to show something. Because if you've got a good system, it works no matter what the players are. Or no matter who the players are. You can show something. Do you know what I'm saying? This ain't showing nothing, bro. It's not showing nothing. Like a lot of you lot, like, I don't know how old you are, if you remember when Van Gaal was there, bro, but we played the same system with so many different players, and the system looked the same no matter who played, bro.
Yeah. No matter who the personnel was. Yeah.
That's what a good system looks like. And it's the same with Alex Ferguson. As much as he wasn't the most tactical guy, yeah, no matter what starting 11 Man United put out, yeah, people used to laugh, bro. We put out starting 11s and man were like, right, this is a B team, this team's dead and that. And then we win 4-0. And you're like, bruv, when you look at that team on paper, there's no goals in that team. But the team wins. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's because the spine and the structure of the team was still present. There's no spine of this team. There's no structure. There's no template. I can't see what's being built right now. It just looks like an idea.
Yeah.
It's just an idea
that you can't perfect, bro.
It just looks like an idea.
You know what? You know what's the most worrying thing right now for you lot? If it's not down to individual brilliance, you don't even look like you're going to draw a game, let alone win a game. You don't look like you're going to... And what's mad is your two most influential players, because I don't want to even hear Bruno. I know you don't think this. I don't want to hear Bruno. In Ahmad and Maino, they're both out for a long time. Do you get it? So, and
even Kobe ain't done that in this season to be influencing nothing.
Yes. But me and you know why that is, that I think he's been and this is both managers, Ten Hag and Amrim. I think they've been playing him out of position, because that game against that Romanian team in Europa League, and he played in the position you've been screaming for him to play.
Yeah, and he got goal and assist.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Goal and assist, but forget the GA, bro. This guy's performance was just cold. Yeah. So we know why that is with Kobe. I've got time for Kobe. I'm not one of these rival fans that are gonna just crash it on him, but the two most influential players that could get you out of a situation. You saw Ahmad already doing it this season against City. Man's out now, so you can't look at the scrub going naturally. Xerxes, for me, had a very good game, bro. He did a move where he nuts the player, spun a man, and played it off and started an attack, bro. And I'm like, yeah. But again, let's be honest, he's not that clinical. That's not really Xerxes' game. That doesn't mean he's a bad player, but I don't associate him being a gunman. Garnacho need to say more, bro.
Yeah, but he didn't really miss any. He had the one header, yeah, that he was on the stretch for. Other than and I think he took a shot from outside the box, like a long shot. But
yeah,
he didn't really have. He didn't have no chances. He didn't really have no clear-cut chances. He didn't really have a chance where you're like, bro, like, man has to score that. Even the header, he was on the stretch. You know what I mean? The ball was a bit high.
That's my point, Rants, though. Going forward, he's going to be more of the facilitator. Anyway, the clear-cut chances aren't going to drop to him. It's going to drop to Højlund and Garnacho, and we know what both of them are. I'm past the point even crashing it on them, bro. It's low. It's like cussing Nunes and whatnot. It's low-hanging fruit. You know what you're going to get at them. So, and you know one thing I didn't understand about the Spurs game, yeah? He was better off just chucking the young G's on a bit earlier. What did he have to lose at that point? Because do you want
nothing?
If I'm being honest, say that again.
Nothing to lose at all. He bottled it.
Bro, nothing to lose. And I think you were actually the better team. Yeah, Spurs got the win, and that's in the context of that game, bro. It was like, who could miss more? Honestly, I think the quality on show was piss poor for me. But if you ask me who played better and who was creating the more clear-cut chances, it was you lot. And I was thinking, put on a Chido. My man's scoring 10 goals in games and under aims. And I understand it's a whole different level, but some things you can't teach. He seems like a natural born goal scorer. What's to say you put him on 10, 15 minutes earlier and he gets a little equalizer? I think there was nothing to lose, because the man you have on the pitch aren't going to do nothing for you anyway. And you're 1-0 down. You might as well chuck him on. And you had another midfielder that he's getting a lot of rave reviews.
Yeah, Kone, the young.
Yeah, that's it, Kone. There was no shame in putting him. Man put Chido on with 30 seconds to 45 seconds left. What was the point, bro? I did not understand that at all. But it's looking long for him, man. If this continues, and I even looked at your run of games, I can't remember whose channel I was on, but we're looking at your run of games. I genuinely can't see where your next win comes from, bro. And it'll probably be when we least expect it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got Everton away, yeah. That's supposed to be like, it's meant to be a game that we would expect usually to do well, but Everton are on a good run.
Yeah. And even the weekend, Ndai, obviously Ndai got injured in the game against us. I know a couple of the man them know him. He used to play for Rivals and Ballers in that West London, and Ndai's done it like the hard way, bro. It's a proper story his is, yeah. But he's been one of their better attackers. I think top goal scorer. Bro, I watched them against Palace because that was like the evening game of the weekend. Moyes has got them cooking. I'm not gonna lie. I think you got Everton, then you got someone after that, then you got Arsenal. But I don't know where your next win's coming from, and this is why you kind of said it early in the stream. The only way for your season to be salvageable is he needs to win your trophy now, and it probably has to be Europa League. I think FA Cup or Carabao. No, sorry, not Carabao.
If he wins us Europa League, he gets us Champions League football.
Exactly, automatically, innit? But I don't know if the FA Cup will suffice this season, especially if your league form continues to be bad. And we already saw you had a manager that just did that, bro. And we saw how that story ended. So you don't need. I feel like. Let me ask you this: let's say your performances were still stinky, but you somehow were managing to get, I don't know, maybe 6 out of your next 9 or something. Would you start to buy him a bit of time? Because even the performance ain't there, the results are now coming. Would you start to give him a bit more time?
It depends on how. It depends on how. If I feel like he knows what he's doing and he's being flexible and he's made changes and it's improving the team, that's great. If I feel like he keeps picking the same team and the players are just finding an extra gear or we're getting lucky, that's a different ball game at the moment. Like, it has to be coached, because at the moment, I'm not seeing any coaching. I'm seeing us win games, due to just individual moments. And that's it. I'm not seeing consistent performances. Right now, I can't see what he's brought into the club that we didn't already have. That's my honest opinion. I can't see what he's brought. He hasn't brought goals. He hasn't brought defensive structure. He hasn't brought attacking structure. He hasn't brought confidence, because we're losing games, so the players are less confident. I can't see anything that he's added to the squad. He's detracted from the squad because he's let players go out on loan, knowing we weren't going to get replacements.
But would you say at the start, you know how you said you've not really seen what he's brought to the squad? At the start, the only thing is there's no point in it being well for a period of time and there's no longevity towards it. Would you say your defense, he showed up? Because remember, you started to concede less shots. I think you were...
We're still conceding less shots, but that's because under Ten Hag, we was conceding 20 odd a game, bro.
So it wasn't really hard to improve that. I hear you. It wasn't really hard to improve that still.
So we're averaging more possession, which means we're conceding less shots by default. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're averaging more of the ball. So, yeah, we're keeping the ball better. But most of the time it's when building out in the first phase, because we're building up with more players. So we have more numbers in that area. So naturally, we're going to have the ball a bit longer and we're going to concede less shots because of that. But we're conceding more goals, though. So that means, we're conceding less volume of chances, but we're conceding more chances in dangerous areas,
which is a worry still. And
even
when I look at some of your wins of recent memory, Southampton late winner, Leicester. Was it Leicester? Did you knock out the FA Cup? It was Leicester.
Leicester in late winner.
Goal. And with VAR and that, if there was
offside thing as well,
you go into extra time, bro. So even with your wins, it's not like they're not convincing. Yes. But I just feel at this moment in time, you lot just need wins now, just to lift everyone in the morale. And I think right now, it doesn't really matter how. He just needs to get the wins on board. Because honestly, Rants, let's say he goes another 3-4 Premier League games without a win, which it looks very likely. He could be on the chopping block before you know it, bro. Honestly, because he's under immense pressure.
But this is the thing. You're saying that we just need wins. But in order to just need wins and just get wins, you have to have an air of flexibility and be able to tweak things. But he's categorically came out and said that he won't be doing that.
Yeah. Didn't he come? Didn't he say something along the lines of, "If I do that, he didn't say it word for
He
word
basically
verbatim,
said
but
he's
the
failed
players
if he
basically
changes.
win. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's failed, and that the play. I think someone's saying that the players basically win if he changes his philosophy.
He was like, yeah, if I don't believe in my philosophy, then they won't believe in it, kind of thing. But no one said that your philosophy had to be that rigid. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you've made it so rigid, and it's like football's not rigid. There's nothing rigid about football. Like, even when it comes to marking players, like in corners and set pieces, this is why I don't like zonal marking, because there has to be some sort of flexibility with marking. Even if you have zonal marking, there has to be an element of man-to-man for it, because it's like space don't score goals. If I'm playing against Liverpool, yeah, and I'm an idiot if I don't put someone on Virgil.
Facts.
Do you know what I'm
why
saying?
you're spot on, bro? Do you know why you're spot on? Because even when I've kicked ball and whatnot, some coaches, majority of my coaches did man-to-man, I can't lie, but some did zonal, and sometimes with zonal, yeah, you and your teammate are thinking, yeah, you've got that zone. Then sometimes it might be that breakdown communication, and one of you thought you would go in that zone and the other one hadn't gone on. And then next thing you know, the ball's in the back of the net. I'm like, I've never lacked zonal marking still, ever, because sometimes there can be confusion or just even laziness, bro, where if it's man-to-man, that is your man. Like, there's no excuses in it. That is your man. So I hear it still. I do hear it.
But that's what it is, bro. And I think modern football is a lot of accountability taken away from the players, and the managers want to do too much, bro. And like, I don't like where the game's going. A lot of players don't have the bottle. They don't take responsibility for anything, and everything's just on the managers. It's like the managers want to control every single player individually, bro. Like, it's ugly, bro. It's very, very ugly, bro. Like, when I look at the way that Liverpool are coached, the reason why you're doing well is because your manager's not overcoaching them.
Yeah. Do you remember his first interview, bro? He literally come in and said, there's a lot of similarities to me and Klopp, but I'm not going to change. I think you were saying it the other day with Lee. This is what he said in this interview. I'm not going to change too much. I'm just going to add a few of my ingredients in.
Because he said there's already stuff that they do well.
Yeah.
And there's already a lot of similarities from him and the previous manager. So he was like, yo, I'm not just going to come in and do too much. Because it kind of takes away from what this squad can already do, bro. And I respect just the humility that your manager had to come in and say that, because he could have come in and said, listen, I'm the big I am. I'm the guy to take over, and this is about me. And he was like, nah, bro, these men are doing some shit here. If it ain't broke, I ain't going to try to fix it. Man's just going to add a few things in it. And that should always be the philosophy of a coach, because no problem. That should always be the philosophy as a coach, because even though, like this Man United team in terms of league-wise, haven't really done anything. This is still a Manchester United squad, that have won trophies. So because it's a squad that has won trophies, like they're not completely shit, and also there's things that they know that they do well. So instead of coming in and saying, yo, the reason why I got hired is because all these men are shit and they were failing anyway, that's only half the story. So I don't know, to come in and try and use players in ways that they're clearly uncomfortable with, it gives yourself even more to do. And this is why I believe that a lot of the problems that we are seeing, even though there was problems there under the previous coach, I believe a lot of the problems that we are seeing right now under Amorim, are problems that he's created himself.